Mhm.
Um, Good morning, everybody. This is Mr. Wilkes. I'm taking over the class for today and Thursday. Um, just going to talk about a couple of things and then watch a quick video and then talk about the workout for the day. Mental health during COVID-19. These are some ways that I think that you could deal with the stress that we are all enduring during these times. It really sucks, but we will all get through this. All of our classes have become virtual. Times are filled with uncertainty, where you're missing friends and finding focusing really difficult. Maybe you stayed put and worried about your family. Whether you're a ninth grader or a 12th grader, you're probably feeling anxious, sad, and uncertain. These feelings are normal, and there are ways to lessen your stress. And here are a couple of ways quickly. Oh, shoot. It's very important to maintain a daily routine that consists of consistent sleep, activity, and study patterns. And as hard as it is to get outside, especially under today's times, it's just important that you try to keep some type of routine. Try to stay connected with your friends, which I'm sure at this age you don't have much problems with. And always try to keep things light and humorous because that'll help you get through the day. Try to talk to people that you're comfortable with about your feelings and worries, but always give yourself permission to stop worrying. It's important, especially during these times, to unplug and find your happy spot. Don't drink too much coffee or energy drinks, as these increase feelings of anxiety and make it very difficult to relax, especially if you're trying to get sleep. Relieve times of high anxiety with physical activity. Engage in regular aerobic exercise. So walking, jogging, yoga, dance, if it's possible to get outside of your house, and take a quick walk. Another thing, limit the amount of time that you spend talking about or watching and listening to the news or social media, especially right now. If you're finding information about, the coronavirus situation overwhelming or distressing, it's always good to unplug and find something else to do. Lastly, be kind to yourself and each other, and we'll work through this together and eventually get past it. And here are a couple more tips to help you guys deal with COVID-19 during this time. I know there's only a couple of weeks of school left, so be mindful of that. Get that. Now we're going to watch a video. It takes about 15 minutes talking about why exercising is good for your mental health, can help reduce your stress.
When I dance, it's like a rush of adrenaline and happiness, and it also brings a calmness over me.
Agility definitely gives you a better sense of your whole body, gives you a better sense of how you move as a person.
When you're exercising, you're using more of your brain than in any other human activity.
More women today are embracing that strength training can be something that can make them feel very good, improve their body composition, and improve their health.
The biggest thing when it comes to your lifestyle and your exercise is that moment when you realize that you are in control of it.
Today, many young people do not engage in consistent and vigorous exercise of any kind.
The reasons why are not hard to see. Many of us spend hours each day in front of electronic screens. Smartphones, computers, TVs, and video games can lead to a physically inactive lifestyle.
On top of that, it can be hard to fit exercise into a schedule crowded with schoolwork and extracurricular activities, and some think exercise is important only for athletes.
But the benefits of exercise for everyone are clear. We can all benefit from being stronger, having more energy and stamina, and being more agile.
Exercise also has positive effects on our emotional health. In addition, recent research has shown that exercise is good for our brains. It actually helps us do better in the classroom.
In this program, we'll look at some of the many benefits of exercise. We'll hear from several young people who describe the positive roles that exercise plays in their lives.
We'll also hear from Cassandra Forsyth, an exercise physiologist at the University of Connecticut, and John Rady, a psychiatrist at Harvard Medical School.
To start, we'll look at the effects of exercise on the cardiovascular system.
Cardiovascular health involves the cardiovascular system, which consists of our heart and our blood vessels. The whole purpose of the cardiovascular system is to transport blood, which contains oxygen and nutrients, to our tissues in our body. That is what gives us energy. Without a healthy heart and healthy blood vessels, we can't get that nutrient and oxygen delivery, and we're not as healthy, and we don't feel as energetic.
Poor cardiovascular health increases the risks of diabetes, heart disease, and high blood pressure as people get older. But many young people already show signs of poor cardiovascular health.
They have poor blood supply throughout the body, and some of the ramifications of that are poor energy levels, and so it leads to more sedentary lifestyles for those youth.
A sedentary lifestyle, especially if it includes smoking and poor diet, is a big risk factor for cardiovascular disease.
But the other side of the equation is that regular exercise can improve cardiovascular health.
The types of exercise that can help improve cardiovascular health are any exercise that increases your heart rate above resting levels.
Resting heart rate is the number of times per minute your heart contracts as it pumps blood when your body is completely at rest. Fast-paced walking, running, cycling, swimming, and inline skating are all exercises that strengthen your heart and cardiovascular system by making the heart beat faster. There are other choices as well.
It can be weightlifting, or it can be jumping jacks, or it can be jogging in place. For each person, depending on their needs and the abilities of their body, any activity that increases your heart rate above resting can be a benefit to the cardiovascular system.
Jumping rope is a big part of cardio for me. It definitely does give me more energy. I would have long days where I'd start at 7 in the morning and I'd end and get home at about 10 without really stopping at all. And it's a long day, it wears on your body, but with doing cardio workouts, it makes the day a lot easier on you and your body's kind of gets used to that kind of work.
The kinds of exercise that are good for cardiovascular health have other benefits as well. The potential consequences of being overweight or obese include high blood pressure, heart disease, stroke, diabetes, and some cancers. The good news is that even a modest weight loss is likely to reduce your risks to all these conditions and also increase your energy and mobility and improve your mood and self-confidence.
I grew up with weight issues. I struggled from about the time I was in elementary school through early high school. Being overweight in middle school really affected my social life. It affected my ability to focus on the things that are important at that stage in life. I found myself focused so much on comparing myself to other girls, other students, that I really missed out on the fun things that you're supposed to do in middle school. When I started to educate myself on how to effectively exercise was probably in early high school. I was talking to one of my friends who told me that she was going for a run and she asked if I wanted to come. I thought, well, that's interesting. I've never considered doing that before. I ended up enjoying it. It's not easy to start out into something like that. Your body does have to adjust to it. But once you start seeing the progress that you can make, it's a challenge, it's something that's exciting and fun. I did address my diet as well. I started learning what foods fueled my body and what foods were empty calories and not good for my body and just adding excess weight. It was within 3 or 4 months that I had a change in my physical appearance, the way I felt. It was that shift in finding what worked for me and going from being overweight and unhappy to realizing that I was dropping clothes sizes or that I was getting comments, people noticing that I was changing and people encouraging me.
Achieving and maintaining a healthy weight involves both diet and exercise. It means finding the right balance between the calories we take in as food and the calories we burn through physical activity.
Another important thing to keep in mind is that a healthy weight doesn't mean exactly the same thing for everybody.
Bodies come in all shapes and sizes, and the healthy weight for you is very individual. It's not necessarily weight that we should always be looking at or chasing after. You can have a heavier person, but they have very dense bones and they have more muscle, but not as much fat.
Just as there are different body types that are healthy, there are many different kinds of exercise that are healthy.
The types of exercises that can help to maintain a healthy body weight are any exercises that your body feels comfortable with now. It doesn't have to fit in a certain mold. You don't have to do what your friends are doing. You do what your body is good at doing. You may be a really great swimmer, and that might help you to maintain a great body weight, or you may be really into running, and that may be desirable for you, or maybe you love to weightlift. Any of those things can be beneficial for your body as long as it's something you like to do and you have the ability to do.
Strength and endurance are two important parts of your body's ability to move, lift things, and do day-to-day activities. Muscular strength is the amount of force you can put out or the amount of weight you can lift.
Muscular endurance is how many times you can move that weight without getting exhausted.
Muscular strength is important because it is actually correlated with less risk of injuries, less risk of falls. Being stronger helps us to be less at risk for getting hurt. Muscular endurance is important because we move our bodies every day, and the endurance is the ability for your heart to pump effectively, and we need our heart to pump in order for us to move. So better muscular endurance indicates that our heart is stronger and more fit.
Being strong is important for anyone, and it is especially important for athletes. Joe, for example, lifts weights in order to better compete as a baseball player.
I do a lot of power workouts, power exercises. Working legs is very important for baseball players, especially pitchers, because you get your power from your legs. So if I'm pitching and I'm working out my legs, it will add velocity, add miles per hour onto my pitch. On an offensive end, you can definitely hit the ball farther.
Lifting weights is one way to become stronger. There are many others.
Push-ups are a great exercise. They work a lot of the different muscles in your body. You know, they work your chest, they work your arms, they work your core. When you're not used to them, a lot of times you can't even do one proper push-up. But as you go along the way, you'll start to realize that you can get 5 in with proper form. And then that gets exciting, and you're like, I'm going to do 10 next time. And you keep on building on goals like that. And that's just one example. Similar to push-ups, you can do planks, which are sneaky because you think that they're going to be easy because you're holding one position, but you're actually working almost every muscle in your body by holding that one position. And a minute or so into it, you really start to feel it.
More women today are embracing that strength training can be something that can make them feel very good, improve their body composition, and improve their health, builds bone mineral density, builds muscle mass, all of these things that helps prevent injuries and problems later in life, especially for women. So it's very important for women to embrace strength training and see it being something that can really increase and improve their body composition and not make them look manly if that's what they're afraid of. It's something that's very beneficial for them.
Agility is the ability to change the position of the body quickly and to control the movement of the whole body.
It's very important for athletes, especially where you need to do quick, coordinated movements with your body.
For me in baseball, it would be reads on a fly ball. You know, someone would hit a fly ball, and my reaction to it has a lot to do with my agility. It applies in basketball as well, cutting in and out, and tennis is one of the biggest agility sports there is. Things that I do to become more agile would definitely be the step ladder and box cone drill. The step ladder, you just do a lot of exercises that work on footwork, foot speed, that also help you with balance and being able to control your body well. The box cone drill just helps you use your body in different ways, become more comfortable with lateral movements and back and forth movements. Agility just gives you a better sense of how you move as a person.
People involved with dance definitely having that ability to coordinate steps and move their body in the same direction that their feet are going without twisting an ankle or turning a knee. Agility is going to help them to control their bodies. Again, one of the bigger things is to avoid injury, and that's one of the things that's going to prevent us from being physically active. So being more coordinated in our movements helps us to stay physically active.
Exercise helps with another kind of agility, mental agility.
We have more and more data coming out, more and more scientific studies showing that exercise is probably the best thing you can do to improve your ability to learn. We've come to look at the brain like we'd look at a muscle. The more we use it, the better it gets. When you're exercising, you're using more of your brain than in any other human activity. So when you're running or swimming or climbing or biking or lifting weights or doing yoga, you're stimulating a lot of brain cells. And this causes those cells to get tougher, to get more vibrant, and to get stronger. We know without a doubt that exercise improves our ability to take in information. It improves short-term, long-term memory. It improves our ability to perform on tests. So in all ways, exercise improves our ability to learn and perform.
Besides making us more agile thinkers, exercise benefits our minds in other ways. Exercise is a powerful tool to counteract stress, anxiety, and depression.
Among other emotional benefits, exercise releases powerful chemicals in the brain called endorphins that energize us and make us feel good.
In middle school, I started feeling very much alone and helpless and worthless, and that's when I first started struggling with depression. I had a lot of instability growing up, and dance and exercise were always the one thing that were stable. When I dance, I absolutely immediately feel joy. It's like a rush of adrenaline and happiness, and it also brings a calmness over me.
People who exercise are less likely to get problems with stress, problems with addictions, problems with depression, problems with anxiety, problems with panic disorder. Do you feel relieved? Do you feel less stressed? Do you feel less anxious? You feel more positive? You feel more motivated to do things? Exercise has a direct effect as well on our view of ourselves. We feel better about ourselves if we are fitter.
And this brings us to still another benefit of exercise.
I think exercise and confidence is very interwoven. Before I started exercising, my confidence was not very high. One of the things that I started to learn as I went along my fitness journey was that I could set goals for myself and achieve them. Being able to set those goals, meet them, and then surpass them is a huge confidence booster. For example, running races, I was able to start running 5Ks, and then I progressed to 10Ks and eventually ran a half marathon my senior year. All those things became positive outlets for me. Instead of spending time watching television or sitting on the computer, I was able to get outside and learn to appreciate my body for what it did.
Working out and being in the gym, each day kind of boosts your confidence. Lifting something heavier than you would have expected to have been able to do is great, because then you feel like you can overcome things.
I definitely feel better about myself when I'm exercising.
There are many other ways in which exercise enhances health and well-being. Exercise helps you sleep better. With better sleep, you are more alert during the day.
Adding physical activity to our lives also helps us become more active socially. Whether we play on an official team or as part of an informal group, exercise provides opportunities to connect with new people and to strengthen the friendships we already have.
But in order to reap all the different benefits of exercise, you have to take that first step and get started on your exercise program.
Are there any questions about the video? Good. For the workout, you're going to do the Tabata workout. You need to complete 5 rounds of each exercise that I list on the next slide. And remember that you need 20 seconds of work and then 10 seconds of rest. Remember that if you miss a class that you could review it on YouTube after it's presented. And that remember to finish the assessment that'll be given, and the link's been provided in your email. That concludes today's class. Are there any questions? If you have any additional questions, you can always ask in office hours from 9 to 10. Any questions? All right. Everybody have a good day.